you get that beat from?
My homeboy, Keith. He's doing the podcast with me. He do beats. Welcome to the Big Zo Podcast. I am he is me. Another episode. Episode 8, I believe. Got my homeboy with me, sitting in with me, Brad. We go back a little bit, so let's just, a little backstory. Met at the grocery store that we worked at, which was probably about 10, close to 15 years ago?
I started there in 04.
Yeah, I was 16 then. I started in 2000, 99, 2000, probably like my senior year of high school. And then, don't start that, man. Don't start that. And yeah, so that's where we met, became cool ever since, played a little ball together. And I ain't gonna bring up the haunted house, but, we just got a little history.
So, old days, I already remember that.
You remember that?
I remember speeding on the highway, just getting there.
Yeah. Speak up a little bit, brother.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to get into this, man. We're going to go over a few things, get into a few discussions, and just keep it real light and breezy. So as you know, Nick Cannon not doing Wildin' Out anymore because he made some, some comments. I don't know if you've seen like the video or whatever, where he was talking about the history of the Hebrews and the Jewish. He kind of, some people felt he was speaking out of pocket or whatever. So he parted ways with the company, and so they just completely took Wildin' off the air. Like, they're not just running reruns and nothing. They just completely took it off the air. They're not running reruns and nothing. I'll be honest with you, I ain't watching MTV2 since it's been off the air. Ain't no need, because BT show Martin, so they don't need me to watch MTV2. But anyway, 85 South boys, Carlos Miller, Chico Bean, DC Young Fly, I guess they trying to bring the show back, and they asked 85 South boys to come back, and they like, nah, they stand with Nick Cannon, which I think is dope and applaudable, because he essentially gave them their platform to shine. I mean, they doing their thing. They probably was gonna blow anyway, but he just kind of gave them that a bigger window, and they standing with him, man. And I think, if I ain't mistaken, they wanted DC to host, and he was like, nah, he wasn't gonna do that, which is very honorable, because he putting the money to the side. You work hard, you grind to get to this point to where you get that, start getting them bags, and he like, nah, he not gonna do that, because he being loyal to his friend / former, boss or whatever. So he ain't want it like that. He wanted it handed down to him properly, is what he was saying. You kind of want like a pass another torch. So he declined it, and they standing with him, and I commend them, because loyalty is hard to find these days with anything, not just with entertainment, just with, relationships, friendships, partnerships, whatever, So I like the move. And, they're going to be all right anyway. They showed, 85 South show popping. It'd be even more dope once they been able to get back on the road and do shows, because that's how they make the bulk of the money. That's where the money at, in the touring. So once, hopefully, outside open back up soon. I mean, I don't see it happening, but hopefully open up soon, man, so cats can get back to their regular scheduled programs and getting this bread so they can provide for their families and whatnot. But what do you think?
Honestly, like I watched the interview. I was listening to him talk.
It was on the Breakfast Club, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I respect what they did. I wasn't like a huge fan of Wildin' Out, but I watched it, and I understand. Nick gave them their platform. They standing with Nick, which is, like you said, commendable. Like, I don't see why. I mean, it probably would have shocked me more if they decided to do it without him. Like
Yeah,
that would have.
yeah, I agree. I agree
that
because
would
they
have.
seem like some stand up dudes.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, so I agree. I would have been shocked had they. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, like DC. I think he can stand on his own as you know a host and whatnot. But if you, I mean, sitting there watching it without Nick Cannon is like, I'm good. Let me click the channel because I don't, you know.
Yeah, like I don't want to see it.
Yeah,
I don't want to see it without Nick.
yeah,
It's his baby. You know, he raised that show
right.
to what it is. You know, and for them to try to, snatch it right from under him. I believe he had like a lawsuit out. I don't know if it's still pending, but to get the rights to that show.
Right, I remember hearing something about that.
I'm not sure where they stand at right now, but nah, I'm with you. Like I don't want to see it at all. But them cats, man, like they gonna be fine without wilding out. Cause we went and saw me and wifey went and saw Carlos Miller. He came here to the Helium a couple months ago, and he burned it down.
And see, I don't know too much about Carlos. Like I think I seen him on Corey Holcomb podcast a few times, but I don't. He's probably the least one that I ever paid attention to.
Nah, he get busy. Like this was before COVID and all that hit, so the comedy clubs was able to hold their regular amount of people, and he lit it up, dog. Like he lit it up, and I want to say I was impressed, but I didn't know what to expect because it's a little different from a improv comedy show and then stand up. So I had never seen his stand up, but he came through and he burnt it up. He burnt it up like I was hollering. Like dude funny, and I like Chico too. Chico Cole.
Chico probably my favorite. DC, he kind of hit or miss for me. Like sometimes he funny, sometimes he a little extra. But Chico, I don't know. Chico, honestly, he has that like that witty humor. The way he kind of is not really slap you in your face humor. It's just I'm gonna say some funny shit. And you either gonna like it or you just gonna go over your head type of deal.
Yeah, I agree. I like DC though. DC kind of remind me of. He kind of put you in the frame of a. Like you could tell, like Chris Tucker was one of his influences, because he give me that younger Chris Tucker type feel. But going back to loyalty, like them showing loyalty to Nick Cannon, I think that when you need more of that, because not saying you never want to bite the hand that feeds you, and not saying he was solely feeding them. They was eating beforehand, but to sometimes the friendships are way more important than the business relationships, because you don't know what's going to happen down the line, or what Nick gonna have coming up, or what's going to develop from all of this, man. So I think that sometimes, man, we underestimate the friendships because we allow that money to blind us, and we lose sight of the actual or authentic relationship that you have with a person. And I think that sometimes that supersedes everything, man. On friendships, like the money, like you do it for the money. Of course, everybody do it for the money. Everybody want the money. We want the money so we can take care of our family, so we can do whatever it is. But sometimes those relationships, man, are way more valuable than any dollar amount. You never want to forget where you come from, or you never want to forget those who helped you, those who reached out their hand and pulled you up out the gutter from which you came. So you don't want to forget that. You don't want to lose sight of that, man. And sometimes we put that dollar amount above everything, and then when it goes wrong, then you left on this island by yourself, right. And ain't nobody rocking with you, because now your reputation has been very discredited. So I like that. I like that move, and I hope they stick with it, which I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. But I ain't fooling with Wildin' Out if Nick ain't a part of it anyway.
Yeah, they
So
might as well can that.
yeah, 100%. Or just like I said, I don't know about the lawsuit, but if he can get it back and do whatever it is he gonna do with it, then you know I'll rock with it. But other than that, I ain't fooling with it, dog. I ain't fooling with it.
I mean, he definitely can. Well, as far as getting it back, I don't know, the parameters of that, but I think he probably working on something that's. I ain't gonna say similar because you don't want to seem like it was. Since he doesn't own the rights to it, that'd be copyright infringement in a sense. I would guess, but I'm sure he got something that he working on that'll rival it.
Yeah,
Well, it really ain't gonna be a rival because Wild Not ain't gonna. It's not gonna exist without him.
Nah, I saw he did an interview and he was talking about some other projects that he got coming because he's still doing the Mask Singer.
Right.
They supposed to have a couple of spinoffs from that show, and he was running it down about he was describing the type of shows they was gonna be, and hey, it sounds interesting and creative, like so. It's hard to be creative these days because we done seen everything's been done, man. So for him to come up with these ideas that haven't been touched before, that's how I know he gonna be alright. Besides the fact he been paid since a kid, so, but he gonna be alright, man. But I just think 85 South, that's commendable to stand on that, especially when I don't count pockets, but especially when you haven't gotten in that position yet to where you can like call shots.
Right.
So I like that move, man. I like that move. But loyalty. The theme, and in case you don't know, is gonna be loyalty because Cardi B and Offset, been going through their things.
Right.
But so apparently Cardi B was gonna get a divorce. Now she didn't put it out. She didn't say it. She didn't release it. She didn't say it. So somebody, I don't know if it was TMZ, but somebody leaked that and said that she was planning to divorce him. And like I said, she didn't say that. She went live and explained it and everything. So, like any relationship, you have a change of heart. You talk, you work things out. So she ain't doing it. So her fans, man, and this will burn me up, dog. Like, we have to stop investing our emotions so much into what these celebrities do. Like, when you get too invested to where you think your opinion matters to them, then, bro, you done gone too far. You done gone too far. Man, I was reading some of them comments, man, like, they was bashing Offset, they was bashing Cardi. Like, Cardi canceled her, she deleted her Twitter account, dog, because people were basically just harassing her about taking Offset back or not, going through with the divorce.
Right.
And so she deleted her account, man. And it was like, yo, like, how crazy do you have to be, or how less of a life do you have to where you sit here and just harass somebody about about the decision that they make in their personal life. Like, yo, we gotta stop doing that. We gotta stop doing that. And she like explained why and everything, which that's cool, but me personally, like, you don't owe nobody nothing.
Right.
No explanation, dog. And that kind of I guess irritates me, like when a celebrity come out and give an explanation, like, you don't owe them nothing. Like, who are they?
Right.
Who are they? Yeah, you a fan, but yo, we have boundaries. We have limits. And like I said, man, they was like on her, dog. Like on her. Like, I was reading them comments, man, like it was disgusting, bro. Like, just disrespectful. Because she is choosing to not give up on her marriage. And in a climate to where everybody it's easy to walk away. It's easy to just give up on anything. Throw the whole thing away. It's easy. So we got to stop being so invested in what these celebrities talking about, man.
You know, my thing is, I never really understood how people, like, I don't know, like you say, invest time in other people's lives. Like, that's weird to me. If you're not gonna invest this amount of time in your own life, how could you possibly invest in somebody else's life? Like, I like Cardi B. I like the Migos. It's not like, you know, they're at the top of my favorite things to listen to, but I don't really care what they have going on in their personal life. And
as long as the music good.
Yeah, like I'm not.
And that ain't disrespect.
I'm not a fan of what their personal life is. I'm a fan of listening to the music. The music, you know, helps. Well, not their music specifically helps me get through my day, but
yeah. Get me through my work shift.
Yeah, like the music is what we use to deal with and get through things. I don't care about whether she takes them back or doesn't take them back, or, you know, I don't think I've ever like watched any of their live videos or anything like that. I'm not that, you know, in their personal business like that. I don't. Like I said, it's weird to me.
So you missed her titty when she went live?
I definitely did. Because I mean, at one, I don't follow her, so it's not like I would have been, you know, it would have ran up on my timeline or anything. Like I don't follow her. I don't even have to follow her to see all her business. So it's a lot of celebrities I don't follow, but I know everything that goes on in their lives. But you would never see me comment. Like, I'm not leaving comments on nobody's page, none of that. Like, it's weird to me because, one...
Nothing negative. Now, if you want to leave words of encouragement or you compliment them, that's fine. But just the whole... My issue is when you start trying to judge them.
Right.
And try to tell them what they should and what they shouldn't do. Like who are you? First of all, you're not even on my level financially or socially. So why would I listen to you?
Right.
Like you said, it's weird to me, dog. But I follow him.
Hey, you know what? If you were to go through my followers, my following on social media, it's not that many celebrities that I follow. I'm not saying that like, I ain't got time for that. It's just
not at all.
I don't think that, well, one, they're not paying attention to us like that, so their lives are already public, so I'm going to see it regardless. Like I said, I don't follow any of those people, but I still see the stuff that you know is going on in their lives. I don't know. The one thing I do, I will go through the comments and start reading people's comments just to see, like, why do you think that they gonna see this? Like, the negative stuff that you leave, and why do you think that they would even scroll or take the time to reply? Like, there's very, very few celebrities that I see actually reply, unless they're like C-grade celebrities or something.
I hate when I read the comments and like some of them be funny, like it make me laugh because I'm like, yo, you out of line for that, but it be funny. But like case in point, like Lil Wayne just, I guess I'm assuming he endorsed Trump. He met with Trump for whatever reason, but like everybody's like outraged and they want to cancel him and all that. Now you know I don't care for that move, but let me just say, throughout my 39-year-old life, I've never looked to Lil Wayne for any type of guidance, brother.
Nothing but bars.
I'm not, maybe if I was, you know, trying to be a drug dealer, you know, I want to learn how to cook it up, but I ain't never looked. I don't care. Like, he has no influence. Like, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, what is like Lil Wayne's views on this. Like, remember Dave Chappelle was like, they was like, get Ja on the phone. Like, man, ain't nobody, like, why Why we care?
Talk about what job think
Yo,
at this point.
why do we care
Right,
if Lil Wayne meeting with dude?
Right.
Like I don't care. I'm not gonna delete my Lil Wayne playlist.
Right.
But I don't care about that. You can't trust a nigga with her like that anyway. So I'm not, bruh. I'm not. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. I would never follow someone with her like that. You can't. You cannot. But everybody's outraged. Everybody want to cancel him, man. Everybody want to, get rid of him, and they dogging him out. And I can guarantee this too. He don't care about none of that.
Wayne has shown everybody that,
bruh.
he's on that
self-preservation.
I'm not. What OJ say? I'm not black. I'm OJ. Wayne is on that.
Yeah.
I'm not black. I'm Wayne.
Well, they showed OJ. You stole your own product. They
Right.
Get in there.
Right.
But what I'm about to say. But he I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I'm not like I got a million other things I could be in tune with than my man meeting. He has no influence like that.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fake outrage. Like you can't really be that outraged that Wayne met with the president. Like, so what? I mean, I don't know. It goes back to, I feel like it's weird that people are that invested in what other people and celebrities are doing. Like it is, I don't get it. Sometimes I try to sit and think about it. Like, well, maybe, like I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I really don't care if Wayne voted, didn't vote, who he's voting for.
Mm-mm.
I don't really care. I used back in the day, I used to call myself a Wayne head, but I don't even listen to Wayne like that.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying. I just remember discussions about,
Yeah, like back then. But I think after like Carter 3, I kind of fell back on Wayne. Like it is, and we're not talking about his music at this particular point, but it is with his music and him. I don't focus on him. He's out of touch. Of course he's in touch with what's going on around him, but as far as outside of what's around him, he's out of touch.
Well, when I decided it's gonna only be music with him is when, like the internet don't let you live. They bring up like I saw some footage of Harriet Tubman, and internet will find anything, bruh. So the video surfaced. He did an interview. I don't know who it was, but this black lady, and she was asking him about racism and all of this, and he was just like,
What is that?
pretty much like I've been rich since I was a kid. I ain't never experienced none of that.
Right.
So Black Lives Matter. He was like, nah, like my life matter. He was like, if you think, he just went on this whole little ignorant rant. This whole little misinformed rant. So that showed me that he was out of touch right there, dog.
Yeah.
And that was a few years ago. I think his dreads were still black. And I think he still had all of them instead of the 7 that he currently has. But so I'm not I can't get caught up in that, dog. We got too many cats out here who fighting for us and on the front line every day. Cause we ain't out there. Right. Who sacrificing, man. And listen, if at this point, dog, if you're not for the movement, then there's no space for you. Especially in my life and in my head. Like I can't give anybody that's not for the movement. Like if you're not for improving on what's going on, then you can't be a part of what my circle, my world. It may mean nothing to everybody, but it means something to me. Like I can't rock with it. And what's been going on, man, this year alone, dog, you really seen like people's true colors. you really, when the line in the sand been drawn, you really find out where people stand, and that line has been drawn, and so you can't straddle that line. You have to take a side,
Right.
and so if you're not on the side of righteousness, equality, and whatever else big word you want to put out there, which then I can't deal with you, dog. I can't deal with you. And I've quit dealing with quite a few people because of that. And it just is what it is. It ain't no beef, you know what I mean? But I just can't give any energy towards that towards people like that. And it is what it is, man. So
I respect that.
but yeah, man, so they mad at Lil Wayne, and I don't
They gonna be mad at everybody.
Yeah.
If you were a C-list celebrity, like I said, they'd probably get mad at you for something. It's
they just the whole cancel culture, dog. Like I'm done with canceling. Like it's because if you're going to cancel people, if you're going to be that guy, if you're going to be that person that's a part of the cancel culture, then you really got to do your homework, man, and cancel. Like when you can go dig up, like when Kevin Hart was trying to host the Oscars,
right.
and they went and dug up like some tweets from like 8-10 years ago, and try to use that against them, or they go dig up some stuff from somebody else, man. Like then if you're gonna do all that, then you really have to be about that life, because if you're gonna be cancel culture, then you can't watch movies, you can't watch sports, you can't watch certain channels. Like you would have to give up all of that, dog. Because if you think, like, what's my man name that's in jail now for Harvey Weinstein? Yo, you know how many dope movies he has been behind? So many dope movies, some of your favorite movies, dog. So, and we still watching the movies.
Right.
So if you're gonna be a part of that council, culture, then you got to go all out with it.
You gotta do your homework.
Yeah, go all out with it. Like don't pick and choose when it's convenient to be a vegan. Like if you're gonna do it. So I mean, it's Lil Wayne, dog.
What more can you
I don't know. I saw a tweet. I think it was fake though. I don't think it was real, because I went Pusha T, because they made the tweet out like it was Pusha T tweeting it, and him and Clips, and they used to beef back in the day.
Right.
So, but I think it was fake, because I actually went on Pusha T Twitter, and I couldn't find it. And he ain't the cat to tweet and delete something.
Right.
He a real one.
Right.
But I couldn't find it, so I'm assuming like somebody made it up. But it was like Lil Wayne worried about Joe Biden taxing and taking his money from him, but he let Birdman do it for 30 years.
Hey,
Man.
I think I seen that.
It's just,
Whether it's real or not, I don't know, but I did see it.
I don't think it is, but that definitely sounded like a bar that he would say.
It's probably coming in.
It's 100%. It's gonna be on the feature somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's just, you just gotta pick and choose, dog. You can't pick and choose your battles, man. But the whole fake outrage is crazy. But hey, love is love, man. And like I said, they mad at Cardi for trying to fight for her marriage, when half of these chicks that took they dude back, and he ain't no Offset, he ain't no famous rapper either. You know what I mean? They done took they done took Lil Terry back. He work at Penn Station. So I only say Penn because I had Penn Station last night. But so we got to stop that. We all been through some type of relationship drama or complications or whatever.
Right.
So you done took that girl back, you done took that dude back 100 times. So hey, let Cardi take her husband back, and they married, so let her take her husband back. They young, they still figuring it out. Cause first of all, they rich and they young, and they both come from nothing, and they both was hustlers in their own right. So if you think they gonna have this perfect marriage, then you smoking. You are smoking. They still trying to figure it out, man. They still growing. I think they both in they late 20s, late 20s.
I think mid to,
Come on,
to late 20s.
yeah, come on, dog. Nah, we doing too much. We doing too much. Let them live. Let them live. If you could take back, if you could take back my man that they got the food truck, then she could take back her world famous husband, rapper dude.
Right.
They have way more invested than we do.
Yeah.
So it ain't easy to walk away. It ain't easy to walk away.
I mean, it's all social media. Like, if their lives didn't play out on social media, I'm pretty sure it would have been some little argument in the kitchen. They would have thought about it, and
Yeah.
it would be no, I decided to take them back, or this is why I took them back. Or it wouldn't have been any of that. But since social media exists, now you have to watch people struggle in relationships. Like, people think relationships are a fairy tale. Like, it's, we love each other, everything's gonna be great, we're not gonna argue, we're not gonna get mad at each other. No.
Yeah.
It's relationships, or everything that you experience in life is a part of a relationship.
Well, what social media has done was create an illusion
Really.
of people's lives. So we don't see, all we see is the celebrations. So we don't see the struggle, we don't see the hardships, we don't see the pain. All we see is the celebration. So you don't see the behind the scenes. All you see is the show, basically. So you don't get to see how the show came to be. All you see is behind the scenes, man, and we get so caught up in that to where we think that that's what it is. Like, I hate the hashtag or relationship goals. Like, I hate that, because it's like it'll be like a couple. Somebody will like repost a couple like on the beach and be like, relationship goals. What, to go to a beach?
Right.
Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But we don't see the behind the scenes, man. We don't see the arguing. We don't see the disagreements. We don't see the crying. We don't see the sleeping in the separate rooms. We don't see the days and days of us not talking or not getting along. We don't see all of that, man. All we see is the Man Crush Mondays and the WCWs and the couple selfies and the picture of the drinks, date night. That's what we see, but we don't know that they fought in the car on the way to the crib. Right. And so I just think we pay too much attention, man, to what people. Not pay too much attention. I think we get too caught up in that, and we think that that's what it is, and that's not the reality.
Well, they don't even see the actual behind the scenes of where this picture is being taken. Like,
exactly.
You see some water and some sand and think that's, beach on Miami when it's really the riverfront.
Yeah.
You don't see the graffiti wall behind it or the trash that's all.
The broken bottles.
Yeah, like you say relationship goals, and yeah, it might be.
Hey, riverfront used to be lit back in the day, though.
It used to be.
Yeah.
You go there now. And
I got cheated on at the riverfront. Hey, man.
Back in them old days.
Riverfront used to be lit, though. But yeah, I got my heart broke on the riverfront.
Back in your time.
But, yeah, y'all wasn't doing the riverfront? How old are you?
I'm 34. Man.
Yuck.
Hey, riverfront, by the time
it was flooded.
Yeah, the riverfront has been trashed for a while.
Yeah, the riverfront used to be the Sunday night, Saturday night. Yeah. Riding on them bricks. Yeah, riverfront used to be lit, dog. Riverfront was dope.
I've heard.
But
I've never experienced it like that.
You ain't really missing nothing. But if you go with the right people, it could be dope. It could be dope. You know, you have your music blasting out your whip, and you know you down there with your peoples and y'all kicking and chilling. So you know, and it wasn't never no drama, dog. But it was cool. It was cool. It stunk a little bit because the water is filthy. You know, pushing up on the shore.
Muddy Mississippi.
Yeah. But you ignore the smell and you just enjoy yourself.
But that's the real behind the scenes of people's fake relationship goals. You know, with social media and cameras and stuff like that, you get to edit out all the negative, the bad, the blemishes, and that's what it gets back to what you were saying, the behind the scenes of actually fighting in the car and arguing about where we going for dinner, or the kids did this, or my day at this horrible job that I hate. Like, you don't see any of that on social media, and that's why when I'm on social media, like if you were to ever go to my page, you rarely see pictures of me. It's all about my artwork. That's what I try to get out there. I don't care about people knowing who I personally am, because however many followers that I do have, about a good 75% of those don't really actually know me, never met me, couldn't tell you who I was if I walked right past them. So that's the whole thing about social media. Like, it's created this fake facade, this barrier of what's reality and what's
Absolutely.
you know, Photoshop. Photoshop has ruined a lot of people's perception of reality.
Absolutely.
And this is coming from an artist who used Photoshop. So,
Absolutely. I was watching somebody went live. Who was it? And they was talking about how when they were talking about relationships, who was it? But anyway, they were talking about how when you are with when you with somebody, like when you're a couple, whatever, married or whatever the case may be, just in a relationship, how you can get lost in your own agenda. And they went into detail. They went to break it down. I can't really remember what exactly was said, but the gist of it was people. And I'm going back to Courtney and upset. When you going through something, like when you're going through something, a lot of times we're not engaging with each other to actually listen. We listening, but we're listening so we can respond. But we're not actually taking in what's being said. Right. And I thought that was interesting, because I've been in situations, and I'm sure everybody's been in situations where excuse me, you just want to get your issue off and nothing really gets resolved. And so, like, you could be talking to me and I'm looking you right in your eyes, but it's just going to one ear out the other. I'm just waiting on you to get done or take a nice little breather. Exactly. And they would say, and I really wish I remember who it was, but they were just saying how you got to listen, man. We need to listen more. And I took that and I'm like, I need to apply that. Like, I need to listen more. Like, even just going back to just being younger and growing up and developing in your mature, when you're becoming more mature as you get older or whatever. Like, if you just listen, man, you can learn so much. You can learn so much. Like, you can learn, like, just that person that you're dealing with. Like, you can really learn them if you just listen, man. A lot of people together and don't even know the person that they with because you don't listen to them. You have to pay attention and pay attention and listen to them, and then you can tailor make yourself for that person. Right. So that way, when you learn somebody, you know their likes, you know their dislikes. And I'm not talking about I like fried chicken over baked chicken. Right. I'm talking about what makes that person unique.
Right.
to you. And when you listen and you learn, you can make adjustments to yourself personally. So that way you can give them what it is that they need. But a lot of times we don't listen. We think it's all good when ain't no arguing going on or when it's quiet around the crib. We just think everything good. But the whole time that man or that woman is going through it emotionally or mentally. So sometimes, man, we gotta listen. We gotta listen. And it's easier to walk away. It's easier to walk away. To me, if you really call yourself in love or loving somebody, then when there's some turbulence, you got to rock through that. You got to figure out how to get through that. I mean, it's easy just to call it quits, man.
Right.
It's easy to call it quits, but when you can sit down and have those uncomfortable conversations, whether it hurts your feelings or not, then I think you on to something. You on to something.
And that's the thing. I think more people are afraid of getting their feelings hurt than actually settling the situation. It's not even necessarily about settling the situation, but just understanding. Like for me, I'm more of an observer than I am a talker. Like you know me long enough to know that I'm not really talkative like that. Like I'm the guy sitting in the corner just watching. Like I like to observe people.
Yeah.
I like to learn people's mannerisms and habits. I mean, not all the time. I don't sit here and just get in the room and just start staring at people. No, if it's beneficial to me, I sit back and I watch. Because like I said, I like to learn people before I actually hold a conversation with them.
Right.
And in relationships, I've been told that I don't share or show my emotions enough.
I can see that.
I don't.
Yeah.
I get it from my father.
Okay.
He is he's not emotionless, but he's quiet and reserved and to himself like I am. So I watch more than I speak.
Now, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Or
both.
Okay.
It's a gift and a curse because, like I said, I watch before I speak, but when it's my time to talk, like you said, I take off if it's if it's been building up inside of me, I'll explode like when it's my time to talk. So I guess now I'm learning more to try to talk a little bit more and get my issues out, through conversations. But it's I don't know, I think like to go back to what I said, people are more afraid of getting their feelings hurt than actually resolving the issues. And I don't know.
I'm glad you said like you get it from your pops, and I think that's part of, because I remember my mom used to tell me all the time, because I was kind of like younger, like I wouldn't really get my hopes up about a lot of stuff. I wouldn't get like excited about a lot of things. I grew up a little, little shaky. That's another story for another time. But I wouldn't get excited about certain stuff, man, because I just remember things that I really wanted to do. I couldn't do it because financial reasons or whatever personal it may be. But I remember this particular thing happened, and I was just like, I guess you could say nonchalant about it. My mom's was like, man, you just like your daddy. Like you don't get excited about nothing. You don't show no emotion about nothing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, at the time, I was like, I took that as like a compliment almost, because she was like, yo, you just like your daddy. Like, who don't want to be like their pops, especially when the pops is a stand-up dude.
Right. And
so, but as I got older, you had to learn to express yourself, because we get caught. I think a lot of men raised with that macho stigmatism about showing emotion is a form of weakness, whether it be like crying or expressing yourself or whatever, man. So we have to really get rid of that. We have to dispel that myth or that rumor or whatever, man. We gotta get rid of that, because that's not, like you said, and then you explode. Like that ain't healthy to hold stuff in because it can go left. Like you see a lot of these dudes, man. Like I've never seen so many cases where these dudes are like beating up women or killing them or just assaulting them.
Right.
It's because they don't know how to control their emotions. You know, they grow up without the proper training, whether the father was in a home or not, because your pops could be in a home and still not be in a home. You know what I mean? Right. So if you're not being raised to be able to express yourself without harm being done, whether it's verbal, whether it's physical, you know, then you know you're gonna be in a world of trouble, man. And I had to learn to express myself. Like I remember growing up and seeing my pops be under control, man, with his emotion, like all the time. Like I've never seen him other than when he was getting on me about something. I never really seen my pops like raise his voice or like lose his cool. And I thought that was like so dope. Right. And like to this day, you know, I try to be that way. So, but I can still, what I learned, I can get my issue off without being all animated and trying to intimidate, you know, come off intimidating. But a lot of these dudes, man, they growing up, yo, they don't know how to handle they feelings, man. And so when they can't get their way, or they feel like, or they get their feelings hurt, they handle it all wrong. They handle it all wrong. It's never a reason. It's never a reason to put your hands on a woman, dog. Like never. There's never. I mean, you can get away. Like ain't no wrong with running. Ain't no wrong with walking away. I don't mean like a full on sprint, but sprint if you have to. But ain't no wrong with just grabbing your keys and dipping. Right. Cause it ain't gonna end good for you. It ain't gonna end good for you because you damn sure don't want to get the police involved. So it ain't gonna end good for you, dog. And then, you know, she go tell 8 of her cousins, they own you. They own you. So it's just we got to get them. We got to get them emotions under control, man. And I think a lot of times, we come up without our fathers in the home, and so we don't get that. We don't get that in-house training on how a man should handle his emotions. Like you can learn so much from a woman, but you still need a man's touch. It's something about having that father figure. And I don't care if it's a strong uncle, but you need a young man, a young boy rather, needs a male figure, a positive, strong, solid male figure in their upbringing, because you miss out on so much. You miss out on so much. And I look at my son, man, and he's not sensitive, but he used to like shut down. Like if he was feeling like sad or something, he would just like clam up. He would just get quiet. I'm like, yo, you got to talk. Like express yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with talking. I'm like, you could talk to me and your mom about anything. Talk. It's all right. Talking is good because you don't want to keep all that stuff in, man. And so he's gotten a lot better. So he's actually pulled me to the side a couple of times. I remember he got in trouble at school for just talking too much. And so when he come home, I already know. I already got the phone call. I already know. So he come home, he get off the bus, he acting all his little demeanor all sad. So I go, what's up, buddy? And he go, nothing. He was like, can I talk to you for a minute? I go, yeah, what's up? Talk to me. He was like, can we go in the kitchen and sit down? I said, oh. I said, this must be serious. And so he went on to tell me, you know, he got in trouble at school for talking or whatever. And we just talk. I ain't fuss at him. I ain't yell at him because it wasn't that serious, you know. Just talk to him like, yo, man, you got to shut up. You got to shut up. I have recess. It's a time for talking. It's a time for all that. You got to shut up. But I try not to put that extra macho, that machismo stuff, man, in him because it's useless. It's useless. And then with society today, man, with society being so sensitive, dog, they any kind of masculinity, they feel threatened by.
Yeah, you know, the crazy thing is, I wish I could like go back and watch a video of me growing up, because my father was in, you know, he was in my life. It was always there. Well, I ain't gonna say always there. You know, he worked a lot of jobs. So,
Mm-hmm.
and plus he was in the military. So it would be times where he'd be gone for weeks. It'd be times where he literally was like at work all day, whether it's his day job or his night job or his overnight job. Like he literally worked a lot, which as a kid, it didn't register with me. You know, hey, you know, you gotta provide for his family.
Right.
As I got older and now I look at it, like I said, this is why I wish I had like a video that I could watch of me growing up, because I want to see how it affected me. Like I do remember times where he would get deployed or whatever, and I remember, you know, crying because I know he's gonna be gone for a while. But now, like I said, looking back at it, it is.
You only child?
No, I got an older sister.
Okay.
She about to be 41. Actually.
Okay.
She got 32. Yeah.
It's unnecessary, but
You know,
but,
the older crowd.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess for me, it is. I have, like, a lot of my friends didn't have a father figure.
yeah.
And I see them, and then I also see me and the few friends that I do have that did actually grow up with a father. It's weird because I'm kind of like in between. It's like I said, my father was around, but he was always at work.
So he was providing,
yeah.
But it was you saying it was some things that you missed out on, for us like a personal relationship.
Yeah, I guess. But then, you know, me, I've always been a loner, so it's kind of like I never really tripped off of it like that he's not there, because I always knew he was he would be coming back. So it's kind of like, you know, hey, after a while, probably getting to like middle school or high school, of course, he cut back on working as much as, you know, as he gets older, but it didn't. I guess it didn't really bother me as I got older. It was when I was a child, of course, because I was playing sports. I was basketball, baseball. Of course, he taught me those sports, but he wasn't always there to watch me play those sports. And then when he did show up, I kind of, now that I look at it, it kind of, like, it registered with me, so I would start playing differently, and I would, hey, my father is, so I gotta show out, bro. I gotta, you know.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Gotta play a little, you know, better, or I get a little uptight. And you know, it like I said, I had that experience of father not always being around, but he was always there. So then I look at my friends who don't, or, you know, father wasn't always around. Some of them, normally you would never know. Other ones, you know, now that as I get older, I see it's like, damn, like, see why you kind of overboard with your masculinities, because you know, it might not have been shown to you how to be masculine. You don't have to be
You're trying to compensate.
Yeah, like, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, it's I see all of it, you know, and seeing these kids grow up now. Of course, I don't have kids yet, but I don't know, these kids nowadays, the younger, the real young ones, the ones that was born in 2000 or something. Like, I don't know, because I mean, they always try to paint this narrative like the fathers are not here. A lot of these kids, you know, do have the fathers involved, but just watching them, some of these kids that I see just from afar, I don't know. It's like they kind of suspect.
Yeah,
Like it's not, they're not over masculine, but I ain't even gonna say under masculine.
yeah.
I try not to put a label on how to. I think because my view of the kids is a little extra. You know, I like a lot of these kids just seem a little sensitive and just lacking masculinity. But I don't know, you know, because
It's definitely different times growing up.
yeah, like I don't. All my friends that have sons and daughters and just kids in general, I don't know. They all seem normal,
The only
which is weird to say.
the only thing like that bother me is when people act like you can't do for your kid. Like they say, like don't spoil your kid because then they grow up to be whatever, whatever. It's like you can do two things at once. You can give your kid things or provide for them, material, whatever the case may be, and instill in them good morals and values and integrity and all the stuff that you're supposed to teach your child. So my thing is like, why would I want my son to grow up lacking anything because I grew up that way? Like that's crazy to me to want your, I think that's insane, man, to want your child to travel the same path you traveled. Because you feel like they gonna learn it'd be better for them when they get older and get out here in the world. Like that's crazy to me. Like I don't want my son to go through what I went through.
I ain't gonna lie. When I do have kids, I kind of want them to see that struggle. Not saying that I struggled growing up, but I view everything through my lens. Like
I mean, you can show them though.
when you met me at Snooks, that was my first job, and I was 17, I think, 17 or 18. So when I've talked about this with my fiance. She is, she likes the over nurturer, which is it's fine, but I ain't gonna lie to you.
I think that's a great quality.
I think whenever my time comes and I have kids, especially my son, hey, about like 14 or something, he's gonna be working. Like, I ain't saying like I need you to go clock in and out, but you're gonna understand like the value of working. Not saying that it's nothing wrong to wait till you 17, 18, but I kind of feel like I was a little bit behind. I feel like if
I started working at 14.
Yeah, see? And the thing is, it's like at an earlier age, like at 14, I don't know, it seems like you would have more of a hustler mentality by the time you get 18. Because now you get it. It's like, all right, I don't want to have to sit and clock in and clock out of somebody when I'm in my 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever. So you starting at 14, you understand that shit. By 18, I'm tired of this nonsense. So I gotta get it going and figure it out. Not saying that you had it figured out, by that time, but me, it was like I said, I was like 17, 18. So that was my first job. I tried to get jobs before that, but it never really panned out. So I kind of feel like my parents coddled me in a sense.
Okay.
Just a little too much.
Okay. Well, my thing is like you could show your kid like the ropes. Like you could still instill in them the importance of hard work. Being committed to something, being dedicated to something. I'm speaking more along the lines of enjoying things as a kid or enjoying your childhood, not having to grow up too fast. See, I had to grow up too fast. Like I had to get a job at 14 so I can help moms with utilities or whatever. So I had like a little. No, I wasn't rapping.
Well, I ain't saying.
Yeah, me and my homeboy used to clean office buildings with. Back then, it was a friend of my mom's, play uncle, if you will. Used to help clean office buildings. He had his own little cleaning company, right. And so he would give me and my homeboy like $40, like a week, and 14 years old dog getting $40 just to spray some Windex and
new Nintendo.
For sure. So, what I'm saying is, I'm not going. If my son want a toy, or he want a game, or he want some shoes, or he want whatever, yeah, damn right I'm gonna do it for him.
Hand it to him. Or
No. I'm gonna give it to him because he only 10 right now. So, but as he starts to get older, then you start instilling him. Like now, I'm telling him about the value of money, or for us like thinking when it comes to making a decision. Case in point, the PlayStation 4 controller broke, right? So he has a Nintendo Switch also, and the controllers went out on that. So now we have three PlayStation controllers. So I'm sorry, two. One broke. So one of his Nintendo Switches broke. His controller broke. So I got on Amazon I'm gonna order a controller, right? So they had some skins where you could decorate the controller. So I was like, yo, come here for a minute. So I showed it to him. I was like, I'm finna get another controller. Hey, I think about ordering some skins, man, so you could decorate your controller, which one you want. So he picked it out, and he was like, can I get a controller for his, he said he wanted a PlayStation 4 controller too. And then he was like, can I get a controller for his Switch? So I said, well, look, here, I'm gonna give you a choice. I said, yo, we can get 2 new PlayStation controllers with the skin, or you can get a Nintendo Switch controller and get a PlayStation skin for the controller you already have. I said, I'll let you choose. So he sat there. I said, now think about it. So he sat there and he was like, I'll take the Nintendo Switch controller and the PlayStation 4 skin for the controller. I said, you made the right choice. And he was like, really? I was like, yes. I said, that was the best decision. I said, because you already have a PS4 controller, so you don't need another one of those. You need a Switch controller. I said, so you can still get the skin and decorate your old PS4 controller, and you get a new controller for your Switch. I say that's the smart decision. So you can still kind of give them lessons along the way and still do the other stuff as well. Now, I agree with you because, all I need is for him to get a little bit taller, and I'm handing him that lawnmower. I don't care that he's 10 or 11. When he gets a little taller to where he don't have to reach up or, you pushing that lawnmower, bro, I'm going to show you what to do.
That's crazy because
And I got him taking out the trash now.
At my job, I was riding with my supervisor. I don't know how old my supervisor is, but I'm pretty sure he got maybe about 10 years on me. So he was talking about, he was like, yeah, my son he has his own, I don't think he said he had his own line cutting service. So I asked him, like, damn, how old are you? Your son is out here cutting grass already. Because, like, I'm thinking in the terms of me, like, I didn't think he was that much older than me. So I'm like, well, your kids can't be no more than early teens.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, I forgot how old he said he was, like 13 or something. But I'm thinking to myself, not saying that my father should have had me out there like that, doing work. Because I was doing work. It's just I never really had a job. But just instilling that thought process in a child's head that, hey, you don't have to work for it. It's not going to be, mm-hmm. I might hand you some things, but as you start getting older, I'm going to start handing you less and showing you how to get what you want. Because
for sure,
when you say your son is 10, at 10, if I would have broke one of the controllers, and you talking about decisions, my father giving me decisions, the only decision I want to hear is, hey, I want all that. I want that PlayStation controller. I want that Switch controller. I don't want to hear how to get it. I don't want to hear, hey, you made the right decision.
Yeah.
All I want
just
to
give
hear
it to
is,
me.
yeah, here you go. Here you go. That's all I want to hear at 10. But like I said, when my time comes and I have a child,
I can't wait.
I can already see that I'm going to be that father that's Hey, you getting taller, so
Yeah.
I mean, even I guess since you a little taller than me, so I'm assuming your son is probably gonna be as tall as you,
Hopefully.
taller. So he's gonna at 10, he was shit at 12. He's gonna start being around my height at that
Hopefully.
time. So if whenever my time comes and I have a child, yeah, you start getting. I'm starting to hear a little bass in your voice. You ain't no hear this lawnmower. You had already this is your first summer that you've been cutting grass by that time because like
Mm-hmm.
that's what I want to instill in my child that you got to work for it because I don't necessarily want my children to grow up like me, but I want them to have that understanding. Okay,
Absolutely.
that, hey,
And you can do
it's
that.
not gonna be everything's not gonna be handed to you because once you get out on your own, which I had to find out, this life and this society don't give a fuck how old you are, how competent you are. Hey, this is how we gonna treat you.
Yeah.
So I need them to know early on that it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be sweet.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a struggle, and that's what my fiance. She like I said, she's the nurturer, the over nurturer. She honestly, she reminds me of my mother.
Mm.
So my mother was right now. If we were sitting here right now, and I had some of my eyes. She, yeah, like
word.
like
She gonna hit you with the
yeah, like I'm grown, like I'm not your baby boy anymore. Like sometimes
spit
I
off
wonder,
me.
yeah, like I wonder if she sees me as an adult.
You gonna always be a baby, dog.
Yeah, and that's why I don't.
My mama to this day.
I don't want that. I'm not saying I don't want my fiance to treat our children like that,
Yeah.
but especially if I have a son first, which I pray I do because I want him to.
Big bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I said I don't want him to grow up like me. I was a younger brother.
That was my whole thing. I'm like, yo, I need a son first so he can be big bro.
Yeah, like I always not. Of course, I love my sister, but I always wanted an older brother. It could have been in between. I could have been the youngest and had a brother over me and an older sister. But I always wanted an older brother. And like I said, I just want my children to understand the value, even though by that time when they get our age, the value of a dollar ain't gonna make sense because they're gonna be looking at a dollar like, what is this? So, just the value of understanding that it's not going to be handed to you.
Well, what you said, going back to like women being a nurturer, but see, to me, that's the perfect balance because the man, I know, for me, I try to have that balance like within myself, like be the disciplinarian, and also still remember to love on them. You know what I'm saying? Like to this day, like we probably hug, man. We probably hug about 20 times a day. I kiss him on his cheek, probably like 20 times a day, because, well, that's what I'm saying. See, we grow up lacking certain things. I didn't grow up with that kind of affection.
I'm not saying I didn't, but I don't remember.
At all. At all. But see, being that you come up a certain way, you tend to pass it down. And see, that's what happens to us. Like you said, your pops, like they grew up a certain way. So they pass it down and they raise us the way that they were raised. Now, it may be a little hard or it may be a little whatever. So I like when people start talking about breaking like generational curses, because a lot of times, man, things get passed down and get instilled in us that we don't even know the kind of harm. And I ain't saying all of it is bad, but we don't know the kind of harm that we doing to not only ourselves but to our seeds. Now, you say you don't have a kid yet, So, but once you become a pops, you're gonna do a lot of reflecting on how you was raised, dog. I'm telling you, because all I don't do it as much, but what I used to do a lot was just think about how my mom's or my pops would handle like a certain situation, because history don't do nothing but repeat itself.
Right.
So those situations are coming. So, it's gonna come a time where he gonna probably try to sneak around with some girls or sneak a girl in the house, or when he finally start lying, like he don't lie yet. So it's gonna come a time where he gonna start lying or trying to be slick. So exactly. So he haven't hit that stage yet. So I'm not dealing with the whole being slick or being lying or with the attitude and stuff. He ain't got there yet. And I'm hoping he never get there. So I'm trying to what I try to do is cut it off at the head. So really haven't experienced it yet. Like, I think the biggest thing for him is just getting him to focus, because when I say he just like me, dog, he just like me. He just won't play and crack jokes all day. And I'm like, yo, it's a time for that. It's a time for that. So even I find myself getting frustrated because, when I'm trying to be serious, he'll be trying to like get a joke off. And I'm all for it, but it's like, this ain't the time though. But I just reflect about how situations used to get handled with me. So I try to handle them a little differently whenever it comes to him, because I'm all for like whooping, but for me to whoop him, it has to be something of significance. I'm not going to whoop him because he was talking in class,
Right.
or because he forgot to clean his room or something. It has to be something hard, And I actually have gotten away from that, because I think he at the age now to where he has that respect and fear for me and his mom's to know that, to where I can talk to him and still get my point across. I don't have to raise my hand up or nothing. I can talk to him. I can sit him down and talk to him. And you talk to him with that tone, that father tone. You talk to him as like a man, and he feel it and they hear it. And I think that's where we are. And see, a lot of times these kids growing up without the pops in the career, they don't have that, because dudes, this might be unpopular opinion, but dudes are gonna try women, regardless. The son is gonna always try the mother at some point, especially when you start getting her on your nuts. You're gonna try him at some point. You're gonna start feeling yourself, and you're gonna try him at some point.
And the crazy thing is, not to cut you off.
No, you good.
I definitely had that healthy fear of my father, because, like I told
and
you.
And then he a military man. He a boy.
Like I told you a few weeks ago when we met up, my father is 6'6", so as a kid, 6'6" looked like he was infinitely tall. Like, it's just you can't get no taller than that.
Mm-hmm.
But of course you can, but it is, you got a 6'6", 240-pound man
in shape.
Yeah, at that time,
in shape.
In shape. Like, and it was always a healthy fear. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I remember times talking back to him, acting like I was tough, and then he'd just give me that look and shut all that down
Immediately.
And there were times that he did put his hands on me.
Mm-hmm.
Rightfully so. I probably did some. Well, I ain't gonna say. I know I did a lot of crazy stuff. I was a crazy child. Like, so. I
You get a lot of whoopings
from my mother. Yeah, I remember her, chasing me around the house, and me as I got older, able to snatch the belt and hide the belt and stuff like that. So
you playing Russian roulette, bro.
I told you I was
you grabbed the belt?
Oh yeah.
Like, she's out of her hand.
Yeah. The man you see today is not how I was
I'm glad you're alive to tell your story.
Like, I have calmed all the way down to the point you would never thought that I've done a lot of crazy things, mischievous. I've always been an inquisitive child, as my mother would say. Like I've always, if I see a little twinkle over there, I'm going over there to figure what that is, what's going on.
Yeah.
Even though she told me don't leave the block, there's been times where I left the block and got into accidents.
So you ain't heard about the traffic light coming on? You ain't...
Come on, traffic as a kid, we
Yeah.
don't know nothing about traffic.
Yeah.
I don't even
I mean,
remember
I'm sorry, the
seeing-
street light.
Not-
Street light coming on. None of that?
I did, but it was different times back then. Like the street light. Honestly, the street I grew up on, we only had one street light, so it was, you know, I don't even remember her saying "come home" before the lights come on because, like, I was I ain't gonna say bad child, but
You
I
can
also,
say that.
I respected it as well. So I never really tried to intentionally disobey her or my father. But you know, it is like I said, to get back onto the father thing. Like there was no, I'm a man, I'm a squirrel to my father. Cause like I said, he was 6'6", and I'm not even
bury you.
Yeah, like I'm 5'11". So
Yeah.
of course I never reached that height. So I, you know, by the time I got to high school, I'm like, well, I'm probably not gonna be 6'6". You know, unless I hit this late growth spurt. So, you know, but I did become more solid and stronger. So around high school, you know, I give him, he'll give me a look. But, you know, at like 15, 16 years old, we ain't really, ain't no disciplining me like that anymore. So, you know, he'll say his things, I'll say my stuff, and we'll kind of just go into our separate rooms. That's kind of how we dealt with stuff by that time. As a kid, like I said, I remember being thrown up against walls and stuff like that. I remember his heavy hand. That's as a kid, I knew what heavy hand was.
Absolutely.
My father's hands was about the size of this laptop. So, you know, getting slaps. Even when he was just doing regular stuff like brushing my hair, you know, it was like, hey, you go get my mother because you brushing too hard. Like that's probably why I'm bald now because
and you know, hands are different these days. Like you don't see hands like your pops used to have back in the day.
Yeah, them hard brick hands.
Oh man, yeah, man, these hands so soft and delicate, bro. Yeah. Man, look, yo, and them hands used to always be ashy.
Always.
And they
honestly,
hurt.
the only reason I put lotion on today is because I know my hands will probably be okay.
I rolled my eyes at my mama one time. Like like she told me something, and I stared at her on some like whatever, and then rolled my eyes and like turned around and walked in the house, and she hit me with a 2-piece in the back of my head. She gave me
just one time. Man?
Yeah, that's all it took.
See,
that's all it took. I was probably about 12 years old, and she hit me with a 2-piece. It was extra crispy. She gave me some fries and some coleslaw, biscuit and a drink. You feel me? And it was nothing after that.
See,
it was nothing after that. I mastered the art of being slick. So, you know, and I think a lot of things she probably knew about, but it wasn't nothing that was like really life-threatening. So she kind of overlooked it because, you know, man, when you're a parent, man, you have a lot going on. You don't have time to be on your child about every single thing. And that's my thing. Like, I'm not finna sit here and nitpick and be on him like that. If it's not life-threatening, hey, live your life and get your experience. That's the only way to grow. So she let me grow. But when it was time to step in there, she stepped in there. And she stepped in there hard, too. Because Peaches was a fighter. So it was nothing for her to ball her fist up. You know, so, you know, you instilling in them early, and that's what she did. I tried her. She hit me with the 2-piece, and we've had a beautiful relationship ever since.
Yeah, mine.
I love her.
Definitely different. Like I mean, of course, me and my parents still have a great relationship, but I think I've always been the one to see how far I can get away with something. You know, so that's like I said, I will always test them.
You a limit pusher.
I am,
Yeah.
and that comes with that trying to figure stuff out, inquisitive nature. Like I just need to see. I need to see how far I can go before. All right, I went too far. That's kind of how I was, and so like I said, I remember those whoopings and those beatings, and as I look back at it now, I try to see like, will I do that to my child? Because I'm definitely not above whooping my child, or I ain't gonna say beating, but I will punch you. Like,
Yo, I'm trying to stay physically active and healthy as long as possible because I know, and I hope it don't, but I know it's gonna come a day where he gonna wake up and be like, today is the day I try my dad.
16th birthday.
Let me see if what he got left in the tank. So I need to have something in my tank.
I don't 46.
I don't want to be that dude where, when he tried me, I don't want to, and you struggle with him. I don't want to struggle. I want it to be clear that I dominated and I'm still that guy.
You can't struggle.
I don't want to struggle. I don't want to get into that whole
a lack of respect after you struggle. He gonna be like, you know what?
You tussling it.
Yeah.
You kind of like, it's like he got a little strength on him.
I did.
So you got to cheat and bite him. I don't want to bite him because I'm not above biting. So I'm trying to, I still want to be that guy because I know it's gonna come. I know it is. I hope it don't, but I know it's gonna be a situation or it's gonna be a time where he looked me in my eye on some. I'm a man now, and I'm gonna have to let him know.
It's gonna happen in high school.
You're not.
You gonna run across some high schoolers that's taller than you.
And
be like, you know what?
Yeah.
I could talk this way to this high schooler. He's taller than my daddy, so let me go home and try it with my father.
Yeah, by all means, do it.
And then you're gonna be struggling.
Yeah. I got a couple of moves.
I see some weights over here, but you're gonna have to do more.
I got a couple moves, little secret weapons. I got a couple of little moves I got in the tank that I can reserve. A few little tactics.
Them riverfront moves ain't gonna work.
I'm not fighting dirty is not beneath me. Do you hear me? I don't care who it is. I will bite you. And
it sounds like
hey, yo. You know what's funny, man? I just thought if your son go to try you, I was just thinking like, what if he go to try me? He like choke me out. Like somehow he get me in a position to where he got me, dog, and I'm tapping his arm like, yo, I gotta move out. I gotta leave. I have to leave. You're no longer the man of the house.
You have to laugh after that because if he choke you completely out and he gotta wake you up.
Hey, yo.
If he gotta wake you up, you can't do nothing like you got it. What else you gonna say?
Help me up.
Yeah, like you can't ask your son to help you up after he choked you out. Like how does that? I lose respect for myself.
Yo.
I wouldn't talk back to my.
Hey.
I can't even talk back to my son.
You ain't even gotta take the trash out no more, man.
I got that.
I got it, bro. You just can I get you anything?
That grass don't even worry about it. I got it.
Can I get you anything?
I'm gonna pay you to cut my grass.
Alright, so we're gonna wrap this up, dog. Hey, you gotta come back because I actually got some other stuff I'm gonna chop it up about. But so yo, promote you came through with something, you blessed me with something. I was waiting. Let's get this. My man, my laptop in the way. My man did that. Tell all 8 people who gonna watch this what you do. I don't want to cover your face, so my bad, G.
Nah, you good. People don't need
Give him your social medias and all that. Promote yourself, King.
Right now, you can only find me on IG.
All right.
My IG name is Traffic on Mars.
Traffic on Mars.
Don't ask why it's Traffic on Mars because I have stuff coming that will answer all those questions. But
all right.
I'm an artist, illustrator. I'm working on my graphic design work. I'm learning how to code. So I'm trying to get out of this 9 to 5 life. So yes, that right there is digital painting.
Mm-hmm.
Get that on the iPad or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Got it printed out with my Connect. You know, he deal with the printing and stuff. So yeah, if you like you said, if you need some artwork, find me on IG. Traffic on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
All one word.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I do. I create work like, you know.
Now, do you? Well, you said you starting to get into graphic design. So you don't like if I was trying to start me a online something, and I needed like a logo or something like that. Like do you do work like that for people? Like, can people reach out to you for like if they need like a logo or they need to get some type of.
You definitely can.
They got an idea, and you help them bring that idea out.
You can. I will admit to you, I'm kind of slow with that because of my 9 to 5 life. It's kind of taken away from my creative side. But you can hit me up. I created his logo. When I say his,
why did I say? But I should have said that. I don't know why. Shame on me. I mean, yeah, but I should have said that you did my podcast logo. So yeah, my bad. Shame on me, dog. But go ahead.
But yeah, I do the logos. I'm trying to. I would say about a year or two from now, I'll be able to do people's websites and apps, because apps are the thing. It's the future
Facts,
now. Not even the future, but the now.
Facts.
But yeah, I do all types of work. Digital painting, traditional painting, drawing, charcoal. I do all that, you know. But yeah, this is.
Hey, when I sent you that, remember when you drew my I had my little. No. We're gonna get into it. When you drew that for me years ago, and then I sent it to you a few years ago. How did you feel about that?
I was disgusted.
But at the time, it was dope though.
Yeah, and what was that?
Man, that had to be like 2004 or 5 or something.
At that time, I thought I was Picasso or something. Like I thought I was the top artist in St. Louis. And now, when you sent it to me a few years ago, I looked at it and it made me cringe. Like,
yeah.
Like you look weird on there. Like you had a big head and small body, and the proportions was off, and it was nasty. But honestly, it humbled me, because now even looking at some of my work that I just did a few months ago, I look at that and be like, damn, that's trash. Like So
you're the toughest critic, man. You're the toughest critic.
I am, and that's probably why I work so slow, which I'm trying to critique myself less and get more stuff out there, because I have a lot envisioned.
Yo,
I can't do it with it.
Cause that one you got with the it's the woman's legs with the bag with the shotty hanging out the bag.
Oh yeah.
Yo, that one hard. That one hard. Like I want that one. And you had the fishbowl. The fishbowl.
Fishbowl theory is probably I didn't know it was gonna be that popular, but that's one of my more popular pieces.
Okay.
That I don't know. I can't even explain to you how I even came up with it.
So let me ask you a question, and blame it on my ignorance. So you sell a piece, right?
Right.
Somebody come on your page and see that same piece and be like, yo, I want that. You sell it?
Yeah, if I still got it.
All right, okay, that's what I was saying. So you can still.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. With the digital work, I can always get it.
Gotcha.
And I can always get it printed out. Now, the traditional work where I'm actually sitting with a paintbrush and painting, once that's gone, it's gone.
Gotcha.
But, you know, if for the right price, I can repaint it.
Okay. Yeah. No. Absolutely.
But, you know, if you go on my page up until about 2018, 2018 or maybe 2019. That's when I started to get back into digital work. So all those from about 2019 to now is all digital work. So it'll all be reprinted and stuff like that. Like I said, the traditional stuff, I'm trying to get back into that because that's it's more natural. This looks natural and looks like I painted it on the canvas, but that's just, I guess that's how good I am to make it look like.
Facts. Hey, do it. Talk that talk. Yo, man, when you sent me that, I couldn't that text. Yeah, I'm still a kid at heart, right? So I lack patience sometimes about things I want. So if I see something I like, I want it immediately. Like I don't want to wait. I wait if I have to, cause that's what adults do. But if it was up to me, I get it immediately. And when it was actually perfect timing, dog, because they was on the verge of winning, and for you to combine that with Nas, with that bar Nas said, one life, one love, so there can only be one king. I'm like, that's gimme.
When I created this, it was crazy because it's not like I created it just for you. I created it and I knew there was a few people I knew for sure that was gonna be like, hey, I need this.
Yeah.
And I know you in the music, and of course, like I said, that bar right there, it's always been in my head every time I heard a song.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense in his song to me. Where he put it at in the song, I'm like, I don't get why he's saying this, but I'm like, I need this lyric. I need to do some artwork to this lyric.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first. Once I created the actual image, I'm like, you know what? Perfect time to put this lyric on this image and get this printed out. I didn't want to jinx the the Lakers. That's why I didn't put it all out before. I would hate for them to blow the 3-1 lead, and then I would have no use for it. But I'm like, hey, I'm pretty sure they're gonna win this, so let me go ahead and put half of it out, and then when they won it, I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, so I knew once you saw it, I got another piece of the work. No, well, actually two. One more LeBron one, and then I got a Jordan one because I know you kind of think.
Yep.
I still believe Jordan is the GOAT. So.
No. Oh, don't wait. Hold on. Hold on, because I don't want that. I'm not saying LeBron is better.
Oh, okay.
Jordan is my era,
Right.
for as coming up. It's just my man.
He's definitely.
You ain't seen nothing like that.
I'm not gonna see nothing
so
like that
ever. Yeah. So I'm not. We'll chop it up about that later, though. We're gonna wrap this up. But Traffic on Mars. That's your IG page. So like I said, man, you're gonna come back, man. We're gonna do this again, dog. I had till next time, man. Y'all take it easy out there, be safe, and make love raw.